Hey y'all, how are y'all? Good to see everybody. All right. Um, all right. Glad to see you all. See y'all first. Okay. All right. We're going to be doing some budgeting. Okay. I have to budget early simply because my time, again, it's my time. I've got some other things I'm working on some other projects in order for me to get everything squared away. I've got to um, do a few things early. So let me know where you guys are chiming in from. I am strictly streaming on YouTube and I am streaming on my One Mom page on Facebook. So I'm not streaming on my Shakima Wilson page. I will let them know that I'm streaming here. Hey friend, how are you? Good to see you. Very good. I'm glad you're here. We had some things, kind of some shakeups that I was not prepared for, but that's okay because God always helps me prep, right? God, He never leaves me out. So it always works out pretty well where I'm able to do the things I need to do. Hey, ma'am, how are you? Good to see you guys. I'm trying to share this. Oh, there we go. YouTube has done some fancy maneuvering around, so it's got me a little discombobulated. Um, anyway, give me one sec. All right, just want to make sure that I am posting what I need to post, doing all of the things. All right, y'all. So, we had talked. Hey, ma'am, good to see you. We had talked about briefly um the issues with the platform. I didn't give any names, but YouTube, we straight. And so, with that being said, I'm focusing mainly over here on YouTube and from the direction and leading of the Lord, right? I have to lean not to my own understanding, but all my ways acknowledge the Lord, and He's going to teach me and tell me exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I've just learned over the years to be very sensitive to Holy Spirit. I'm trying to be extra sensitive to the Holy Spirit and allowing Him to help us through this journey because I think when you've been on the journey as long as I have and you've seen good success, you start to get used to good success. And then when things happen that you're not used to happening, you have a tendency, I have a tendency, we have a tendency to really question God, like what's going on here. We were in such a good pattern, but any pattern that is becomes your norm, God will always shake it up. He's always going to see, am I depending and leaning on this, or am I depending and leaning on Him? So I think for me, what I've learned is just to not be dependent on any one area. That's why you are trying to get streams of income to come into your household so that if one thing glitches, you have other things coming in, right? So that's what we're over here doing. I did not realize that we were going to have a shakeup, but we did. And I think it's going to work out for us. Um, so I'm just going to see what God says, right? I'm going to keep working the process, working the plan, see what God says, and it's all going to be well. So I'm going to just get my YouTube comments up so that I can follow what is happening in the chat because I'm going to change my screen. All right, y'all. So we're budgeting for November. This is our November budget. And for those of you who have been following me for a long time, you know that in November, well, at the end of October, because we get paid the last month, the last working day of the month, which we got paid a day early. We got paid today. Praise God, because I've got to do some things here over the next few days where I need to just get all my bills and stuff paid so that it's done. But that's going to help us to get ahead a little bit. But the working day of the month is when we get paid. But in October, I get partial supplement, right? I get a partial half of my supplement in October. The other half I get in April. So no matter what I'm still going to get my supplement, but I'm very thankful that it comes before the holidays because I do not have to have a holiday sinking fund. I always know that I'm going to pull money out of this supplement to put into my holiday fund for the kids. Now I have 5 to buy for this year. That would be Shamika Trandon, Alana Jackson, and my son-in-law Keith. So those are the 5 that I will be doing Christmas for. My sister will get something, my best friend will get something, and then we do a family gift exchange with a couple other people. And Alana has been saving her money for that. Hey, Miss Sue. Alana's been saving money for that. And Jackson, he gets his own money. So I stop his savings account in November, and all the money that I would put in his savings account becomes his Christmas spending money because he has to buy for his siblings. That's always been the thing. And then if there are any boys in the family exchange, Jackson buys for the boys. Okay? All right. Excuse me, y'all. And look, as my friend Jay Morrell would say, yes and amen. Okay. Now, we were already going to be tight with the restrictions over on the other platform. So that meant that I have to come up with sinking fund money for November and December because I already sunk funds in October. We did that last week together. I was averaging about $600. That's probably a little bit overestimated what I needed, but I wanted to have that. That was what came in last month. Excuse me. That's what came in last month. So I wanted to make sure that I at least accounted for that much. So that means that that's going to take away from the extra parts of my supplement. I had planned a Costco trip. I'm not going to go to Costco. It's going to be fine. We have food. It's no problem. So I'm not going to go to Costco. I had planned to put a little bit extra into my savings. I'm going to sink my funds for 2 months, and that's how that's going to work. So the savings will come back. Going forward in April, I am going to have money to sink into those savings account. My biggest goal in 2024 is to save my 3 to 6 months sinking funds. Oh, well, thank you. What state are you in, hon? I might know somebody. But we would love to have you come to Titus too. Listen, sometimes I have lots of women that have their church homes and their church pastors, but they still come on Saturday mornings and we all just get down with the get down. And some of us have met in person, and we did a retreat this past year. This summer, we did a retreat. We're doing another one next summer. So listen, you can join us. We would love to have you. It's perfect. Bless it. Hey, ma'am, how are you? Good to see you. Okay, so we had some things that were just unexpected. We didn't expect that to happen, and it was like in a blink, right? But I'm not going to talk about that anymore because God is great. He is able to do exceedingly abundantly above. We're going to jump right into this budget, not to hold anybody long because I've got other things that I've got to get done as well. So I am going to share my screen with you so that you're able to see what I am working on and navigating at the same time, just in case you have questions. Now, I share the real and raw over here. I don't make up numbers. I don't have time for that. And a lot of people say, Shakima, you share too much. Well, my money is what's called a wash, because when you see it, that money's already exited the account. I pay every single bill online except Mr. Jerome. And Mr. Jerome is not coming over the next couple of months. So while I am still going to allocate money because there are some garden projects he's going to be working on for me, it's not tiredness, it's a tick. I hate to give it a name, but it is what it is. When I film, this happens to me. It does not happen any other time. It does not happen any other time. At this point, YouTube is my main. I have to go back to YouTube as being my main. So it's really not going to matter if you are watching me on Facebook. Try my One Mom page. That's the better option at the moment for the next 90 days. that's the better option. But YouTube is where I'm going to be putting my focus. And I just feel the Lord saying that, right? Just come back to where it all started, right? Because just as good as I can do there, I can do good here, right? Sometimes we can't always split ourselves in so many different directions. So I'm going to do my very best to try to do all of my things on YouTube. So that's what that is. It's not that I'm tired. It's just a tick. I don't know what it is, but it's something that and it doesn't happen when I preach. It only happens oh, okay. Lafayette, Indiana. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look that up. It does not happen to me when I preach, only when I film videos. So normally I would film and then I edit all that out because it happens to me even when I'm filming, not just when I'm live. But anyway, back to the budget. So I don't have time to share made up numbers, right? I just have to share what I'm sharing, and that's just how it works out. But again, it's all a wash because by the time you see the videos, even a live video, that money's already made its way out of the account. I know it is just like that. It has already made it out of my account into where it's supposed to go. Okay. Blessed be the name, right? Hallelujah. Okay, I'm going to back this down just a tiny bit so that you all can see. So now anybody that is using the MYMT budget sheet that I use, remember, this is not my sheet. Well, thank you for following us. We're happy to have you. Not perfect over here, but we do our best. We do our best. On the README sheet, it tells you how to navigate and work the sheet. Then at the bottom of the sheet, it has your weeks. So I usually go in and put my weeks in. And then I'll go in and do my personal budget worksheet so that you're able to see all of the things that I'm doing at the same time. Okay. So I need to put my weeks in. I like to put my weeks in. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to just rename this. So this is going to be October 29th through November 4th. Okay. And then this is going to be the 5th through 12th. And this is going to be the 13th through the 19th. This is going to be the 20th through through 26. Is it 26? Yes. And then I have 27 through 30. Okay. Now, back to my regular sheet. And this is where we're jumping into our budget. I am going to expand this out a tiny bit more. Can y'all see the sheet? Let me know if you can see it. Did I share it? I did share. Okay. 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 Now, couple of things that come in, right? Okay, very good. Thank you. For November, right, I get my regular paycheck plus my supplement. So we were in a hold this year. The legislature did not approve the budget until September. We didn't get any pay in the pay raise until this paycheck, this October 31st paycheck. So I'm in my 26th year, which means I'm in my 25th step. So because I'm in my 25th step, I'm getting what is at this point my last raise before I retire. So 25 through step 30 is the same amount of money every time. Now they are saying we're going to get another raise next year. We'll see how that works out. But traditionally over the past 4 years, I've not gotten any money at all in the raise. It's been mainly the 0 through 15s that have gotten a good raise. And then some of us oldies but goodies, we haven't gotten anything. but the Lord has been gracious to us. So my regular gross pay bumped up by $310. So I'm able to get an extra 310 into this October paycheck. And then they actually back paid us from August and September. So I put a little note in here about my paycheck. My regular paycheck um, was 8,500, I think. My paycheck was 5510, and then our supplement was like 3,000 and some change, which is the highest supplement I've ever gotten, ever. So that put my paycheck at about $8,500. I brought home 5479.50. So they took out about $3,000. That includes taxes. That includes my kids' insurance. That includes eyes, dental, vision, dental, life, accidental, cancer policies, all the different insurances that I have on myself and the children, accidental policy, hospital, the gap coverage, like if you go to the hospital, because we still have to pay the copay. So that includes all of that. And so that's just my bring home was 5479.50. Then I was looking, I said, well, this does not reflect the back pay. So we got a separate check for the August and September payments, which was 310 each. So 620 was what they owed me. And that check was 535.36. So all in total for those two paychecks, my regular pay plus my supplement plus the back pay was $6,014.86. Now that's about double what I normally would bring home. It's about 3,000 and some change, right? So with that being said, that $600, that 535 is going to help me fund the December sinking funds. And because I had some YouTube money that I'm going to do an owner's draw to pay some other things, that what I'm not paying with my paycheck is going to help me sink my November sinking funds. Because I originally thought, well, Shakima, just don't sink the funds, you'll be fine. Well, I've grown so accustomed to having that money that I feel much better sinking the funds however I can sink them than trying to come up with the money some other way, right? I pay my car insurance out of that. Some of the things like my PureFlix and the renewal for the trash or the recycling, those things I don't worry about as much. But coming up with $500-600 for insurance every 6th month without having that cushion kind of makes me a little bit uneasy. So I want to make sure that I always pay those types of things. I am seriously and very strongly considering AAA because Alana will be driving very soon. But we do have roadside assistance attached to our insurance. So I'm not ready to make that decision yet. I think we have like a certain number of them, but I have been considering doing AAA just because sister is going to be driving and she would have to pay half. I'll pay half, she'll pay half just to keep her accountable, because if she didn't have mom, she would have to have that on her own. So Miss Ollie said I have been paying half on the first and half on the 15th. Right. Hey y'all, good to see everybody. It does feel good to have that cushion there, and it feels comfortable, if that makes any sense, to know that what I've been used to doing, I can continue to do, and I'm not missing anything, which is why I still need to be on the YouTube platform to really increase my earning potential and revenue. I've also have to figure out how to get my Amazon storefront together. I'm certain that it's not, I don't think too many places are what it used to be. But I'd rather have a little bit of safety in there. We try to make sure everything is well, right? And like I said, we do have that roadside assistance attached to our insurance. So it's just going to make it nice for her. I won't worry as much. And see, that's what I was thinking about, just kind of like a Christmas gift or something to make sure that everybody was covered. That might be good for my kids. Okay. We have Progressive as well. Yep, and it's not bad. And when sister got on, it actually lowered my portion and it didn't charge her as much as if she were a single driver by herself. So I appreciated that. She still had to pay the overage or the premium there, but it worked out for us just fine. So I'm considering that Christmas gift, always a nice little gift to have, just to have it. Shamika drives, from where she lives to Stanford to try to get to school because she is actually on campus teaching classes this semester. So just to make sure she's straight, but of course she's getting married, so I don't have to worry about them. But that might be a nice little wedding gift. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So moving down now, anybody who is using this, remember again, this sheet is not my sheet. This is one I found doing a Google search. I just Googled in budget worksheet and this came up and I was investigating it. I like being able to see what I have during the weeks, and that makes me feel a lot better as far as I need to have more money this week than this week. It just makes me feel a little bit better. Now, I put nothing in my income for the budgeted amount because I don't want to overspend that column, but I always put in my budgeted expenses, and that just makes me feel well. So I have to try to cover all of my expenses. My mortgage is $892. Here's what I usually do because the voice of the Lord told me back in January. No, back in when my escrow was getting ready to roll in March. The Lord said, Shakima, start paying over what you normally pay. Start paying 1,000 because I had been used to paying like 977 and some change. They moved it back down to 892, and God said, well, you're already used to paying the 977, so don't back off your payment, just pay that extra to the principal and then add on the rest. That would make it 1,000. We've been doing that for several months. It has not bothered anything. If I needed to back off, see, this is where your budgeting becomes important so that you begin to know what your budget is and how you can work it. If I needed to back off that extra $107 to put it in the sinking funds, I would be able to do that with no problem. However, because I still have income coming in on the YouTube platform, then I'm able to take some of that, put it into places that I need it, and then I am able to manage my regular paycheck. Now, Rachel, Miss Ollie, what I do is when I get it all done, I print it out and then I make notes, right? Because I like to write down things I probably forgot. I think Rachel keeps me straight because sometimes I do forget stuff. It's one of the things about being a budget committee of one that you miss. Like I don't have a second set of eyes. That's why I share it with you guys over here. Okay. So my mortgage is 1,000, but 107 of that goes towards the principal. 107.70, I think, is what goes towards the principal every month. So hopefully by the end of the year, that'll give me one extra payment paid. Now, my cell phone bill, we send the money through Venmo to Shamika because we're on the family share plan. So it's Shamika, Trandon, Alana, Jackson, and Mom. That makes our cell phone bills go way down. What I used to do is I used to pay like $150 for 2 phones, me and Alana, I think. And it was a lot. And Shamika was like, Mom, you're paying too much. Why don't you get on the plan? So I was like, okay. And she was like, well, Alana can get on the plan as well. I was like, okay, that's fine. Took Trandon about a year to get over. And then when we got Jackson a phone, everybody just went on that plan. So my bill is like $46. And my bill is $42 and some change. And Jackson's is like $46 and some change. So I just round it up to an even $90 and it works out. I normally take Jackson's phone money out of his child support, right? That dad sends. So I normally do that. Okay. Let me see. Household repairs, that is a sinking fund. So I usually do $50 per month. So for November and December, that's going to be $100. Household miscellaneous, I'm not doing any household miscellaneous. I do have a couple household projects that I want to get done. Something on the coffee cabinet. I want to redo the kitchen table and I want to do my headboard and footboard. but I don't want to have to just pull money to do that. I'm gonna wait and it's gonna work itself out. Now, here where it says Mr. Jerome for lawn care, I have some projects that Mr. Jerome is going to be working on for me, usually around the time when he's not coming to cut grass. I have a tree line on the side of my property where lots of weeds and trees and stuff try to grow back every year. He comes in, he cuts all of that down, he sprays it for weeds because now's the time when snakes are trying to find a place to sleep and get underneath stuff. And I don't want any of that in the backyard. And then I have another tree line over here that does have trees there, but it grows up like a lot of foliage. So he'll come in and again, he'll clean all of that out for me. And it'll be worked out where if anything is in the yard, I'll be able to see it if I'm walking out there. So I'm just collecting money over the next several months while he works on those little bitty projects for me. It's a couple things here. And he's going to build me 2 new raised beds because the ones I have out here are rotting. So I asked him if he could find me some good wood that wouldn't rot. And so he's going to do 2 raised beds for me and then do that cleaning. And I just told him to give me a price. He hasn't given me a price yet. So I'm just working towards saving up. So when he's ready to come and do the work, it works out pretty good for us. Nice, nice, nice. I think that we all have the potential to earn. We just have to figure out what that potential is. Now, for my yearly recycling, renewal, pest control, and the yearly spray is $56 per month. So for November and December, that's going to put me at $112. My Roth IRA, I have not done very well putting money into the second Roth. I have a Roth through work, but I haven't done a good job putting money there through the second one. Now, I'm going to either decide to just hold off until January and start fresh, or I'll just put money in. I've allocated $150 for it. Alana does her own Roth management now. Shamika used to do it, but she taught Alana how to do it. So Alana does her managing. She can just move mine over as well. Amazon Prime is $13 a month, so I'm doing $26 for November and December. PureFlix is $11, so I'm doing $22 for November, December. So all of these extra monies that I'm doing for sinking funds is what would have been the extra from my supplement, where I would have went to Costco or I would have gotten the kids something that they needed. With Jackson getting child support, if he needs something, like today, we went out and bought him he needed some long sleeve shirts. And I said, okay, bud, that's fine. Mom will take you over, because we had some money in his high school fund. We're down to $50 in that account, but everything we use, because he had school clothes, he needed shoes. So we got 2 pairs of shoes, school clothes. He just got several shirts, a new coat because he was out of a coat. And oh, nice, 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 nice. I just got my LLC this year, and it was a simple process. Didn't cost me a ton. And I think it's going to be good for the one mom situation. So I'm having to replenish Jackson's, but of course I take all of that money out of his child support. Yeah. My Health Wage gym, $29. They told us we were getting a bump in that price. It used to be $25. Last month it was $25. I don't know what it's going to be this month, so I'm planning $29. Jackson's gym is $42. That still comes out of his child support, even though I pay it up front. I just recoup that money back from child support if I need it. Usually I'll use it for groceries or something like that. My taxes, I know that I'm going to have to pay taxes from YouTube because I will get income from there. From the other platform, nothing's going to come in. So I don't anticipate, nothing's scheduled to come in. I'm still waiting on the Lord to do his miracle, because I know he is in the miracle working business. And I am telling him, I have been praying that he would allow them to take their hands off of that, because I didn't do anything wrong. But again, this is my lean-in season. God's going to take care of it, right? So because of that, I'm going to just allocate the YouTube taxes, put it there, no problem. High school sinking fund for Jackson for his clothing, $50. A new camera. I've been having a new camera on here forever, and I still don't have a new camera, but $40. And that's for 2 months. Scrolling down a little bit more for my monthly groceries, I'm going to do 300. I've thought about going back to the $25 a week just because we still have meat and I have two turkeys. I can easily cook a turkey, divide that meat out into turkey meat, sandwich meat, stews for soups and stuff. I could chop it up for stews and stuff. I could totally take the breast off and do ground chicken that way or ground turkey that way. So I have two big turkeys, and a friend of mine just brought us a ham for Friendsgiving. So we're going to use that for Friendsgiving. So I thought maybe I'll just back it down to $100 and just do $25 a week. But the money is there. I'm not going to go to Costco and do a big haul, but I am going to have at least um, a little bit extra for the month just for groceries. I am going to do my $100 for my summer groceries. I'll do $50 for preps, and then I will do for Friendsgiving $100. So I've marked that as a Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving. We don't typically do a lot on Thanksgiving. Normally the kids are with their dad. That's his big holiday with his family. I'll go to my pastor's house or, somewhere we'll all get together. That same group of families that we do Christmas with, I usually go with them for Thanksgiving, and most times it's just mom. The kids have been with me sometimes, but most times they go with their dad because that's their big holiday. But I allocated $100. I'm going to be buying things over the next few weeks because Friendsgiving is coming up very soon. So I'm looking for sales. I'm scouring the sales to see what I can find. We're having a very light menu this year, but it's going to be non-traditional and it's going to be fun. So I think people will enjoy it. I hope you'll enjoy when we share the videos and the reels because I've got some prep videos going out. I have one to post after I do this. So for hair care, I'm going to get Jackson 2 cuts for his $60. I'm not going to get my hair colored again until December, 1st of December, I think. I think I'm every 5 to 6 weeks, my color needs to be retouched. So I don't need it right now. It'll just be before Christmas. I'll do it before Christmas. The P.O. Box sinking fund is $34. That's $17 for 2 months. My supplement is $25, but I've been using my benefits card to pay for that. For vacation, I put $50 each into that. It's very good. It's very good. We enjoyed that quite a lot. If you don't want it as sweet, back off the Truvia a little bit. But we enjoyed it. It was very good. So $100 for vacation. Again, the kids and I are not taking vacation this year because we're flying out to California for Shamika's wedding. So we're going to count that as vacation. So I'm going to put an extra $100 into my vacation fund because I have a pastor's conference that I'm going to, and I have to fly out of state, and I'm going to be gone for several days. I remember Sarah and Solo just left a pastor's conference, and it's something I've never been to as a pastor. I've gone to worship conferences. I went to Women Evolve, but I've never been to in the official capacity of pastor. And so I just want to make sure that I have everything I need for that. And since I am planning to put money into the vacation fund anyway, I'm just going to move that into that for myself. For Jackson savings, this will actually be his Christmas money. So I'm going to make a note here. This is for his Christmas. I will actually get this out for him in cash. He'll be able to put it into his cash envelope so that he'll be able to make his own payments on what he wants to buy for his people on his list. Gracie and Queenie have a sinking fund. Now, I just bought food for Gracie. Gracie's food lasts us about 6 weeks. We get a big bag. 33 pounds, I think, is what I've been getting. Now, at Petco, PetSmart, wherever I go, I can't remember, you buy 10 bags and you get a free bag. So Gwen needed food, and she doesn't eat food as fast as ma'am, but because I was on my free bag when I went to get her food, I just got her a larger bag than what I normally get. If we need to, we can put her food in Ziploc bags and throw it in the freezer. Dog food will stay fresh. If it is temperature controlled, we keep the dog food in the house, but because it does have oils in it, I may need to just kind of rebag hers and throw it in the freezer because she's a small dog and Mama is a big dog. But it was a free bag, and I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this bag because that's the way. See, that's the way the Lord has dealt with me, right? We know we're going to have some challenges over here with this income. So I have to put money in that account anyway, but it's time for me to get the free bag of dog food because I'd already bought Mama's, right? Very good. So she has to have her last shot done, and then she has to have her spay. So her spay is like 105, and then her last shot is like probably 60 or so. So I have to add a little bit to that, but it won't be any problem. It'll all be done, and anything else that comes for the dogs will just be in their account. There will not be any additional things. I do have to get Mama's nails trimmed because they are very long, and she's scratching me, and I can't live that life. I can do Gwen's with the clipper, but Mama will not let me clip her nails. She does not love her nails clipped. And so I have to take her to the vet to get it done. It's $15. It's no problem. I'll take it out of some mom money, some type of place. Okay. Sliding on down, we are into transportation. I'm doing still $200 for gas, no problem, because Alana drives her car to work in the morning, and then I drive it home, and then I switch out and take my car to work, right? So I'm getting only my gas money. She does have to put her gas money in her car. Now, since she's driving her vehicle to work, I don't take any more money from her for gas. So that'll get me, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $40 a week is plenty for my car, just where I have to drive myself to work. Oil change is $20 per month. So for November and December, it's $40. But I'm very close to work now, just with the recent change, which it's been a blessing because I used to have to drive 50 miles round trip just to get to work every single day. And that's not going to be my testimony right now. So I'm so thankful. Tires, $16. That should be car maintenance, repairs, tires. $16 for November, $16 for December, so $32. Then my license, registration, car insurance is $184. That's $92 each month. And then for sister, we're just doing the regular $80 or 4 car matches. I still owe sister, I think I owe her 12 $20 bills. So this will get me some done. I'm trying to get sister the money that I had promised I would help her with her car finished so that I can get on with what I got to do. My tithe broken down should be $918. That would be the money that I got from my regular pay, which was $850. And then there's another 60 some odd dollars, and I can't remember what I did. I wrote it down somewhere, but I don't remember why it was that expensive. Oh, yes, I do. Because of the extra paycheck, the $530 some dollars paycheck. That's where that came from. So all of that would have been like $9,180 or something. If that's 600 and yeah, 8,500 plus the 620 would have been like 91 and some change. So that's where that extra 60 some dollars came from, the $62. I give to another ministry. That's $459. Now I know some people would say, Shakima, well, that's your sinking fund money. The Lord dealt with me in January about changing my giving, my base giving, from 10% to 15%. That does not include offerings. That doesn't include love gifts we give to other people. That doesn't include when the Lord says, hey, send this to whoever. That doesn't include that. I am a firm believer and a witness over here at my house on my side of the street. When I'm obedient to the Lord about my money, God takes care of me. As I have seen with that $3,000 supplement, we have never gotten a $3,000 supplement. And I've been working for this county for 17 years. I've never gotten that. And he finds a way to give it to me this time. Thank the Lord. My YouTube, when I look at my analytics for YouTube, I have views, I have subscribers, I have watch time, and I have income. Every single category has been down, like the arrows go down instead of giving it the green check, right? The green check means it's going up. So every single thing has been down except my income. And the income, the day the restriction happened on the other platform, somehow the green check on YouTube started checking itself again. And it's been checked every day since. Every day that this has been closed, YouTube check has been open. So I'm not going to play with God and his money. I'm going to just do what he tells me to do. And I'm going to watch him be the miracle I need on my side of the street, right? I don't feel one bit of anxiety about giving to God because if I needed to, I don't have to do any groceries this month. We got food in the house. I would do the Friendsgiving. I would do my summer groceries. I would do those two things for sure. But even if I didn't need to do that, there's still groceries in the house. We've got a pantry here, a pantry there. The garage has food. Two freezers have food. We have food. And if I needed to, right? My friend brings two chickens every Sunday. We can stretch out chicken. I've got two turkeys, one at my house, one at my sister's house. Y'all, we have it, right? The food. So I'm not going to stress out over that because that is me returning to the Lord what's his. And he's going to, I've heard people say God can do more with the 90 than you can with that 100, with that 10%. God has done more on 90, blowing my wildest imaginations, dreams, and all the things. So I'm not going to fight God over it. And if I cannot have any backlash in the comments, that would be perfect. If you don't want to tithe, don't. That's your business. It's your business. Okay, very good. Now, okay. Baby step number 3, I put $200. The reason that I put $200 is I didn't want to overspend my category, right? I'm going to put $1,000 into Christmas for my kids, but I didn't want to overspend that category. I do believe I'm going to be able to put more into the baby step than the 200, but if I do, you'll just see it on the other side. Now, that gives us a total expense, excuse me, of $6,003 that I need to come up with. Well, I've got $6,014 that came in my paycheck. But if you go back to Ephesians 3:20 and 21, it says, now unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask, hope, dare to dream. So October 27th, which was Friday, I went for my physical. I go every year just to get my regular physical. She took some blood work. If I get blood work done, because I have supplemental insurances, I have a cancer policy, I have a hospital bridge or medical bridge policy, I have accidental, I have short-term disability, I have all those things that come out of my check pre-tax from work. When you do your claim online for going and getting your physical, you get what's called a wellness benefit. Well, last year I had some issues getting my wellness benefit and didn't get it until December because they said I'd used all my benefit for the year. Hadn't used it, but they tried to tell me that. But I went on Friday, submitted my claim when I got home Friday night. I got an email this morning. My claim had been paid. And when I was on my way to pick up Alana after I got off from work, I had that money in my account. So for the wellness benefit, which I'm going to put up here in the unexpected gifts, blessings, funds transferred, I'm going to put $350 because one policy pays $200, one policy pays $100, and another policy pays $50. So that is for my, I'm just going to write a note. This was for my wellness benefit from my from yearly exam. That was on a 10/27. So I didn't expect to get $350 more, right? That wasn't even on my radar. But the Lord did that for us. And so now, if I was short anywhere on the sinking funds, I have $350 that I could move it to the places that I need to move, right? Going back, let's just look at this real quick. I know I'm taking up time. I'm sorry, y'all. If you have to chime out, chime out. It's perfectly fine. But please do give this video a like. All the likes you do on YouTube help me out. All the likes you do on Facebook help me out. But help me out wherever you are. Just like the video. 104 y'all are watching. It's a blessing. But if I needed to, right? If I needed to make up some money, I could take out the $107 from the mortgage. I could pull out that money from mortgage. If I needed to, I could take out the household repairs. I probably wouldn't do that, but if I needed to, that would give me another 100. I could tell Mr. Jerome, hey, Mr. Jerome, don't worry about the yard projects right now. Just let me get a couple more months under my belt. I really need to use this money right now. That would be another 240. So right off those three things would give me $447 if I needed to pull money, right? I could say, okay, I'm not going to do the Roth this month because I have a Roth at my work. This is just an additional account to help bolster my retirement. I could say, you know what? I'm not going to do that 150. That gives me $597 if I needed to find the money, right? Okay, I can scroll on down. I don't have to have the new camera. I could scrap that $40 if I needed to. I could go down. I could take the groceries down to 100 and take out two more $100. That would give me $790. I don't have to do preps. I'm going to do the Friendsgiving, but I wouldn't have to do the preps. That would give me another $50. For the vacation money, I could pull that money out and put it to whatever I needed. You know what I'm saying? If I had bills that I couldn't pay, I could pull this money from these places. I got to have the dog, no problem. Got to have those things that are here. I could say, hey, I'm halting on sister's car match money until the summer. I could come back to sister in the summer. Sister's not hard up for the money. She works. I'm just keeping my word to her that I was helping her with that, right? So her dad sent all of his. He had all of his at one time. I was saving mine a little bit here and a little bit there, and she was good with that. So if I needed to say, hey, sister, just hold off until, let me get my good footing here, and I'll give it to you in April because I'm going to have supplement money in April. I'll give it to you in April. She would be perfectly fine to say, no problem, Mom. It's going to be all good, right? So that's if I needed to find another quick $1,000 for something, I would have it, plus the 350 that God sent us today. So that would be how I would work this budget, right? I have used this budget sheet so much that I know exactly when, what, where, how, and all the things. So I'm going to be very intentional about this budget, right? About my budget. That's what I'm going to do. And so it just works out for us. So again, our budgeted amount, what we need to bring in is $6,003. What we have is $6,364. That's going to leave us with $361.86. But I've got to go in and put my tithe and all of that and any money anywhere else that I need to put it in. So it's probably going to leave us just a little bit less than $300 in that account, which again, if I wanted to do something for me, get my hair done, get my nails done, whatever, I would have it there. Or I could put that in my baby step number 3. No problem. Okay. Now, all right. It's like, you know how some people have like Aflac or something like that? We have a supplemental insurance. We used to have Aflac a long time ago, but we don't have that company anymore. We have a different company. And that company offers us different policies. Well, just a part of our policy, if we go and do our preventative, if you go and get a mammogram, if you go and get your regular annual PAP, if you go, I don't have PAPs anymore because I had a hysterectomy, but I do get my mammogram, or if I get my lipid panels run or my cholesterol checked as a part of my yearly wellness benefit, as a part of my yearly checkup, then they'll pay me a little bit for going to get my benefit, going to get my checkup, right? They'd much rather me get all of the things I needed to make sure that I'm being preventative, so I'm not getting this or that or the other thing. So they'll say, hey, if you're being good on your part to get your annual exams done, we'll give you a benefit, because they're going to have to pay out way more because I have this policy if something were to happen to me. So they would prefer to give me just a little bit up front than to have to pay me, thousands and thousands of dollars because I have this policy. So that's how that works for us over here, and that's where we are as far as what our November budget and money is looking like. I suggest and encourage people for real to do these budgets, do your budget. If nothing else, you at least know what's coming in and what's going out, or what you need to come in. You may not have it all. That's okay. Where can I shave? How can I work? I am determined to not allow this over here to shake my faith. It's not going to rattle me, because God is going to take care of Shakima. He says, I've never seen the righteous forsaken nor his seed begging bread. We have not missed one meal over here. Y'all have seen how big I am. Y'all have seen it. So it's not like we over here scraping the bottom of the barrel. And if we were, here's the gospel truth. My sister lives 7 minutes up the road. My other sister lives 7 minutes up the other way. If I needed to eat, they would come and feed me. They would feed me. If I needed to eat, the truth is, some of y'all would feed me. That's how good of a relationship and friendship I have with my YouTube community. But because we have prepped and put money, and we have done all the things, we've put we bought ahead, and we've gotten the turkeys at Thanksgiving, and we've done all those types of things. I have provision for myself and for my children. So I'm not calling anybody saying, hey, I can't feed the kids. If I needed to, this is gospel. I mean, I know people may not think this, but I could call my ex-husband and I say, listen, Jackson needs a coat. He just needs a coat. And he would send the money for the coat. But because he sends the money, right? I want to be a good steward. I have to be a good steward, even to show him that I'm not trying to take advantage of what he's doing for the children. He sends the money. So I should be able to take that money and manage it to get what Jackson needs. I should not have to call him and say, hey, I'm short this, and this. But because I do have the child support, I can buy groceries if I need it. I can pay a bill if I need to. Car bill, gas, whatever. I take Jackson around the soccer. We've been soccering since June. Child, I'm tired of soccer. We just got done, thank the Lord. But 6 months, I've been shuttling him from here to there and everywhere. So if I needed to, I could use that money. And if you could tell, I didn't even put child support in yet. That's going to give us another little bit of something. I'm taking out all of Jackson's expenses and his things out of my monies right now. So anything else that comes in next, anything that comes in, I can recoup all of my stuff. His phone bill, I'm going to go ahead and pay it because Shamika needs to have her money, right? So I'm going to pay it. So she's not waiting for us. So I'm going to do all that. But it's about becoming intimate with your budget. It's about becoming honest with your budget, right? I've spent money that I probably shouldn't have spent. I've taken money out of my sinking fund. 2024 for me is getting that $9,000 to $18,000 into my baby step number 3. Because what I realize at this point of this stage of the game, I'm not building wealth. I'm just not in debt, right? That's two different things. I have no debt, but I'm not building wealth because I don't have that 3 to 6 month cushion just in case something were to, happen, befall us, whatever the case is. I need to get that done. And God has been very specific with me. Stop playing. Get your life together. And I said, okay, God, I'm no longer an Amazonian. I'm not buying stuff on Amazon. I am doing all the things that I need to do as far as making sure I'm putting in what needs to go where. I have one final trip for this year that I am making sure I have all the things I need for that. And once that is done, there are no more trips until sometime next year. And I'll have time to save for those, right? Because I'm not just going to just all of a sudden decide to take a trip and not have the money. I'm going to save up for it. That's how I've been doing it. Yes, ma'am. It's a part of one of my insurances. So it's called it's my supplemental insurance. I have a cancer policy. So wherever my health insurance, right, may not pay out something, I can go to them and say, hey, I was diagnosed, blah, blah, blah. And they'll kick in the rest of it. If I have to go out of work for short-term disability, they'll pay up to 3 months. I think it's 1/2 to 3/4 of my salary or something of that nature. If there's a diagnosis, 7 days after the diagnosis, they start kicking in payments, that type of thing. Oh, thank you so much for joining us. I'm happy to have you. So they will do that. But yes, it is an upfront cost for us. And I've had those policies for years and years and years. And I didn't always realize at the beginning, though, when I first started with them, that there was a wellness benefit. It was only that I was sitting at a meeting one time and that rep had came and he said, did y'all know you can get a benefit for going to get your annual exam? And I'm sitting there going, wait a minute now. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Listen, I'm a goodwillian. Yes, I am. And I'm going to be goodwill from now till forever, because you can go to the right places and find good stuff. I know some people have mentioned to me, they say, well, Shakima, we don't have, our goodwills don't look like that. Here's the deal. You got to go to the upscale part of the to the community. Go to the where, if that ain't where you live, go somewhere else. go to the other places and get what they got over there. You know what I'm saying? Because I live at the beach. So because I live at the beach, there's a lot of affluence in our area, right? Every Goodwill I go to is affluent. Not because I have all the money in the world, but these neighbors and people, there are 7 beaches within 20 minutes of my house. So there are people who live here and there are people who just have a house here and live somewhere else. So there's affluence there. So I go and I pick through and I don't go for a while and then I go back and there's something there. So if it's not in your immediate area, take a little road trip, 20 minutes up the road, across town, where more affluent people are. And I promise you, you'll begin to see some differences in your stores versus the other stores. Okay, that's not in your area. So don't sleep on it. Again, when I needed clothes, that's how I got them. How I get my clothes now are Nadine West. And I recently started doing some Shein videos, right? Shein has been sending me some things. So that's how I get my clothing now. I very rarely buy things, although I have purchased way more clothing this year than I ever have. But that was from a word of the Lord that God gave me in October of 22. He said, Shakima, look like you belong there. And that included my wardrobe. So I had to beef that up a little bit. And I spent money that I don't normally spend. Am I going to keep doing that in the next new year? I do not believe that that is going to be the direction. I think all my efforts have to be concentrated towards that 3 to 6 months, because I don't want to just not have debt. I want to build wealth for my children and teach them how to do it as well. So anywho, y'all, we've been up here long enough. I have chit and chatted, and now it's time for me to get off of this place. See how I didn't yawn in a little while, y'all? It's just a tick. That's what it is. I'm not even tired. And my coffee is cold because I didn't drink it. Well, bless the Lord, oh my soul. Again, don't forget to like the videos on either platform, wherever you are. For right now, if you're supporting me on Facebook, the shares are helpful, because it's like I've been pushed out of the algorithm and I'm not nearly getting the views that I normally get. So if you're on Facebook and you want to share something, that would be extremely helpful to get the views up. And then over here on YouTube, if you just let the videos play, that'll just get my watch time up, or my watch hours, or whatever they call them, watch minutes up. But what you're doing here works fine. Whatever you're able to do for us is a beautiful situation, because the truth is you don't have to do any of it, right? It's just out of the kindness of your heart, and we do appreciate that. All right, y'all, we got to go. I got to get in the bed because I am getting a little bit tired 5 o'clock comes real early in the morning. It's usually 4:30, but don't tell anybody. Okay, praise God. Do those budgets, get those numbers out there, sit down with your significant person, whoever has stake in your game or skin in your game or skin in your finances. Y'all sit down and have a little chit chat. It's going to be okay. Some of us are a little tighter than we used to, but God is still a supplier of all our needs, and we're just going to live that best life. That's all I'm saying. Believe it or not, take it or leave it. It is what it is. I love all y'all. Like, subscribe, share, do all the things, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye now. Bye, y'all. Be blessed.